You never wanted to hurt me." "Oh, yes, you did," she said, pushing away from him. "What you just said could only hurt." She took a deep breath. "So you're in love with someone else?" She shoved the words through her throat. "When?" She paused, not sure she wanted to ask questions that would provide answers. The facts she wasn't ready to hear. But there was something she had to know. "Who is she?" Sheridan whipped toward him, her hands contracting into fists. She imagined the fight, how she would beat the woman down, then turn her rage on Quentin. "We should sit down." Quentin held out his hand to escort her back to the table. She ignored his gesture. "Who is she?" He hesitated before he returned to where he'd been sitting and wiped his hands together. "First, Sheridan, please know this is not about you. I'm the one at fault." Sheridan thought of a million retorts, but she held the curses inside. Quentin said, "You have no idea how long I've wanted to tell you." She held up her hand. "How long has this been going on? How long have you been seeing her?" "It's not like that. It's not like I've been doing anything behind your back." She almost laughed. "Something's been going on behind my back." "I haven't had an affair, at least not the way you're thinking." She looked at him as if he were speaking Portuguese. "How many ways are there to think about an affair, Quentin?" "What I mean is that this is not about sex. That's why I know it's real." It sounded like double talk to her. "So let me get this straight." Sheridan paced across the tile floor. "You're in love, but you haven't been having sex. At least not the way I would define it. But you're in love, and you needed to tell me because..." She stopped, wanting him to finish. "I thought you'd want to know," he said. "I've wanted to be honest with you for so long." "Well, now's your chance." Quentin took a breath as if he thought it might be his last. "I wasn't looking for anyone. I wasn't sneaking around. This just happened. It was out of my control." He paused. "Sheridan, I've been fighting feelings for a long time, and I've finally faced the truth of what's been growing inside me. Something I thought was dead but is very much alive." Her headache was instant. The throbbing squeezed life from her. She wanted to listen, to understand, but only a few of his words pierced through her thoughts. What just happened? An hour ago, they were having breakfast with their children, talking about Christmas and New Year's and the days in between. An hour ago, they were the Harts, living the normalcy of family. "I always wanted to be honest about this," he said. "What's going to happen to us now?" Her thoughts continued. "It was not being honest that was destroying me and our life together." What's our life going to be like now? "I was miserable." What am I going to do now? I tried to break it, deny it, but nothing worked. "You know what?" Sheridan began. She hadn't heard too many of her husband's words. Her own questions overwhelmed her. "I don't want to hear any more." Quentin stood as Sheridan rushed by him. "Honey, wait." His words felt like a punch in her belly. She turned in slow motion. "What did you say?" Before he could answer, she continued, "You have the nerve to call me honey? After just telling me you're in love with another woman, you just call me honey?" "It's not another woman." "How could you call me honey? What does..." She stopped, frozen. Even her heartbeat had ceased. Finally, she took short, slow steps toward the man she'd married 17 years before. He stood stoically, as if he really meant what he'd said. "What did you say?" The question squeaked from her. It was the first time he looked straight into her eyes. "I am in love, but not with a woman. I'm in love with a man. I've fallen in love with Jet Jennings." She wondered if he could hear the rumbling that began in her soles and rushed through her, filling her with the absurdity of it all, the cruelty of the news, the brutality of its suddenness. Sheridan raised her hand, and with the motion she'd practiced for a year in kickboxing, she served Quentin a right uppercut to his chin, then watched him wither to the floor. She stared for only a moment before she stepped over him and stomped out of the room. Sheridan was shaking. "I'm in love with a man." Those words played in her mind as she paced the long bedroom. "I'm in love with a man." She felt as if her heart had been pressed with a flaming hot branding iron, the words permanently seared into her center. "I'm in love with a man." His words continued, taunting her as she marched past the dresser that held the picture of her and Quentin sharing wedding cake almost 2 decades before. She paused and stared at the pictures next to that one, the one with her, Quentin, and their son, just moments after Christopher's birth. There was a similar picture with Tori, and 6 other framed photos that chronicled wonderful moments of their magnificent life. Next to the pictures were the cards, the Christmas and New Year's cards they'd just exchanged, confessing their undying love and the promise of a bright new year. "Sheridan." His voice pulled her back. When she looked at him, she hoped to see something, some mark of the pain she'd caused when she dropped him to the floor, something that could at least come close to the crushing blow her heart had taken. "That's not the way we should handle this." With those words, she wanted to hit him again, but she knew she'd used her free pass. He wouldn't let her get away with that twice, even if he was a... She paused in her thoughts. What was he? Was her husband gay? Her knees weakened, and she dropped to the edge of the bed. He stepped into the bedroom and sat next to her. "You will never know how much I dreaded this," he said. Their shoulders touched when he spoke, and she jumped away from him. She reached for an envelope she'd left on her nightstand. "Sheridan, as much as I didn't want to do this, I couldn't live with this lie anymore." She handed him the envelope. "Did you see this?" He frowned as he took the letter. His glance was quick before he returned his eyes to his wife. His face was furrowed with confusion. "It's from Tori's school," Sheridan explained. She wanted to start their day over, turn back the clock to before the sun even rose, before Quentin had even jumped from their bed and kissed her as he did every morning. "Tori's school fees are going up again next semester, and they want us to pick a payment plan." "Sheridan." "We should pay in one lump sum like we always do." "Sheridan." She stared in silence before she asked, "Are you gay?" Her voice trembled. She fought to keep her tears from falling. Quentin's head barely moved in a nod. "I don't know what to call it. I know I've loved you, but at the same time I've been fighting other feelings for years." Her eyes widened. "You haven't wanted me for years?" "Oh, no. I've always loved you, but I'm not really who you wanted. You'd prefer..." She stopped.